Hey, I know men are suffering. I know we're bewildered by what's happening in the world, how our sense of authority and power is just being eroded on a daily basis by people we previously had no problem lording it over, and that we're suffering, that suicide rates, depression rates, rates of loneliness amongst men are just literally epidemic. And the problem is that we've inherited a system from our forebears, our genders. None of us are individually responsible for where we are right now, but we are responsible for doing something about it, because who else will? Right now, everyone other than particularly white men, but men in general, forms an oppressed minority, including all women. We're at the top of the food chain, and even though as men we are at the top of the food chain through history, through patriarchy, we're suffering. We're not enjoying that position of power. We're not happy. We're not happy. The trouble is that if we look outward for a solution, if we try and blame everybody else, if we blame women, minorities, everything else, then we're not getting close to the solution. Because it's our gender that caused the problem, not us individually as men, but men going back to a time in history when physical strength was necessary to provide the protection and safety of the entire species. But that's just not the case anymore. And we haven't found where we fit. We used to know, but we don't know anymore. And so the responsibility for working that out lies with us. We need to look inward as men and look at how we adapt to this new world that we find ourselves in, as confusing, as bewildering as it is, and as lonely and scary and depressing and just plain scary as shit it is. And so all these videos here on TikTok of men going, I've got no one to talk to, I'm lonely, I'm depressed, if I bring out my emotions it gets weaponized again. All of these guys, they're not lying, it's all true. But the trouble is they're looking in the wrong place for the answer to this. We've got to look to ourselves individually and collectively as men for the solution. And the solution lies in better relationships, in healing our relationship with everybody else, in particular women, minorities, those that we as a gender have oppressed for centuries. We now need to become allies with, so that we all advance, because under this current patriarchal system, none of us are happy.